Welcome back to 100 Days of Nice. The nurturing self talk of the day was I honor space for solitude, which is something that many of us are experiencing right now. Some of it is forced, and some of it is something that we need to initiate. And space for connection. Many of us are getting trapped in the all or nothing type of dynamic. I myself have to find myself intentionally creating balance between the space that is necessary for solitude and the space that is also equally necessary for connection, and the adjustments we need to make in our connections so that we can maintain them and they can continue to serve and fulfill us while still allowing that space for solitude. The integrity practice was I initiated and followed up with fam, friends, and community because I had taken that time stepping back. So I wanted to be the one that also initiated the re engagement and also being open, honest, and more transparent about what I'm capable of right now, what I can and can't do, who I can and cannot be during these times, and just reestablishing those expectations in our connections and bonds is really helpful in being able to create a new balance. The C is the compliment, and the compliment I'll give myself, and please accept it if it resonates with you, is I enjoy who you are becoming. And lastly, the emotional intelligence. Today I felt a lot of joy, and I felt that agape type of love with the people that I was engaging and communicating with. So that was my day. I'm going to attach at the end of this the Instagram live I did where I go into a little bit more depth on my thoughts and reflections on the difference between honoring space that we need for solitude and self destructing through this process of pushing away the people that we love. So I hope this is helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next video. Hi, I wanted to come on live and share some of my thoughts and reflections on the differences between honoring space for solitude and self destructive isolation. I've been noticing in a lot of my work that as our stress levels are becoming more and more chronic as a result of just all of the changes that we've been experiencing across the globe, we have been tapping more into our maladaptive coping mechanisms, and some of those include withdrawing, some of those include isolation, some of those include avoiding and pushing away the people that we need most during these times. So, yeah, I want to also say that I completely relate and empathize with that, because like part of my default too is to, anytime I feel like I'm dealing with something ugly or I'm feeling vulnerable or I'm stressed out about something, I am on default also the type that kind of hides in my cave and just want to stay away from everyone and everything. However, that doesn't really serve us well in the long run, because then we could stay trapped there longer than we need to. And let me know if you have been observing this in your families or in your friendship circles or anything, as people are starting to get stressed out. You're hearing more about people thinking about divorcing or breaking up, or people in partnerships saying we need a break, or friends of ours just ghosting us and not responding to our phone calls or messages or things like that. And I think that it's important for us to be able to honor the need for space, to have and practice some solitude, so that we're using that time to reflect. We're using that time to kind of fight or rebuke any of those like demons that have been triggered or that are coming up. We're doing our shadow work so that we could just express, because sometimes we don't want to have people witness us expressing our sadness or our hurt or our rage, and that's completely okay. And I want to remind anyone listening or anyone who can relate to this, that there's absolutely a way to honor that space for solitude without breaking our commitments, without self-destructing our most intimate relationships, without dishonoring the need that we also have as social creatures for our connections. So the way I want to encourage you to do that is to think about defining for yourself, okay, when I say I need space, or when I say I need a break, what is it that I mean by that? What is that me being motivated by? On the self-destructive side, what I've been noticing in my work is that when it's more like self-destructive isolation, it's more like I'm unworthy. Have you been hearing or saying or having the thoughts of, I don't deserve you, or you deserve better than that, you don't deserve to be treated that way, and so because of that, then we need to take this break, or I'm not being the best version of myself, these uglier parts of me are showing up, and you don't deserve that, so maybe we should just take some time apart, or things like that. And the whole like you deserve better thing. And a lot of times that is coming from that core, like not enough, not good enough, unworthy, and that has a more of a self-destructive type of impact on us. So when we are able to notice that and acknowledge that the way it's setting us up is setting up some kind of expectation that the only time we are worthy of connection, the only time we're worthy of love, the only time we're worthy of relationship is when we're our best selves. And we are not our best and highest selves all of the time. When we're in relationship, there are going to be some ugly sides of us that come up. There are going to be some things from the past that come up. There are going to be some things that we say to each other that hurt each other. And that is part of relationship. That is part of bonding. And it comes up, and then also that repair and healing process is part of love, connection, relationship as well. So one way to still honor that solitude is say, okay, I need a little bit of more time and space to be in solitude so that I can express this, or so that I can explore this, or so that I could work on this. And the way you can do that and still honor your relationships is think about, okay, what are the rituals we have that we still honor? Like, okay, I need a little bit of time in solitude so that I could express all of this, but I still want us to be able to have these meals together, or I still want us to check in on each other just to see how we're doing, just to make sure we're still healthy, just to make sure that we're still eating, just to make sure we're still sane, everything's okay, that we have everything we need. And so that is one way that you could honor your need for solitude while also honoring your need for connection. It doesn't have to be an all or nothing. So I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, or you've kind of been struggling about how to have that balance, how to honor your need for solitude while also honoring your connections, I want to encourage you to define what that is. Like, what is it that I need during this space? And how can I have those needs met? Maybe I just don't want people to witness these sides of me. And how can I honor that space for solitude without abandoning or destroying the equally important need to be connected to the people that I love? And how can I still connect to them? So maybe you could just let the people you love know, like, you know what, I can't be my usual upbeat self right now. Like, I can't be that listener you need right now. I can't be as compassionate or as humorous as I typically am right now. Like, I'm not in that space. I can't be that right now. So, we can chill with that stuff, but, I still want us to check in on each other. Like, even if it's just a text or something, just, I still want to know you're okay. I still appreciate if you're checking in on me, but right now, I'm going through this, and being able to say, this is what I need instead. That way, we don't find ourselves in that all or nothing type of thing. Like, I either my best and I'm in relationship, or when I'm going through crap, then I deserve to be alone because I'm not worthy of people's love and connection, all of that other stuff. So I want to encourage you to practice the both and perspective. Practice that need and space for solitude. while at the same time practicing and still honoring that space for connection. How is it that you feel comfortable connecting now? So that was my what I wanted to share. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to put it in the questions section now. I'm just gonna go through my little bullets really quick if I miss anything, and then you have a chance to put it in the questions now. And then if not, then I will see you all in the DMs or in the comments section or in my stories. Oh, yeah, so the one last thing. Oh, hold on, let me get this question first. What if I just need the solitude in space to work on my creative ideas and need to focus uninterrupted when stuck in quarantine with others? So that piece right there, that's a beautiful example of how we could honor the both and, right? Like honor that space for solitude while still honoring the connection. So saying to the person and letting the person know, like, I need a little bit of space to be able to do this. I have these creative drives that I need to honor, and I need X amount of time. Like, I need an hour or I need 2 hours to be able to do this. This is something that's important to me, something that I need to, just express or get off of my heart or whatever. And I need that time and space and solitude to be able to do that. But afterward, I still need that connection with you. So afterwards, can we do this or can we connect by doing that? So that way you're honoring the other person's need and want to still connect with you and feel connected to you, but also letting them know it's important for me to have this space too. So that's one way that you could try to practice that both and hopefully and this is connected to the other piece that I wanted to share. Who you can trust to witness certain parts of you, right? So sometimes when we're going through these processes, there's people we could trust to witness that. Sometimes there are things that we just need to do in isolation by ourselves. And so knowing who you could trust to witness that process with you, and then if there's not anyone you could trust at that time, then asking for that solitude and also following it up with, I still want to connect in this way. So I hope that was helpful, and thank you for those of you that joined live, and I'll see you all later. Bye. Oh, okay. What are your thoughts on transitioning back to normal? The quote unquote, or the quotes, balance will change. When you're referring, can you give a little bit more context on that? The normal, are you referring to like the social distancing and everything we're going through, or are you talking about the normal in the context of the relationship, like after we've already give me a little bit more context on that. Okay, so I'm hoping that when you're talking about transitioning back to normal, okay, we've established a new norm, it's still kind of vague for me to feel comfortable giving a specific, because these are the different scenarios I'm imagining. Like, if it's like, oh, okay, I need space, and it was kind of like the status of the relationship changed, that will be a totally different conversation than if it was, like our commitment was never questioned, the status of our relationship was never put on the line. We just need to, or I just needed a few more hours to myself, or I just needed a little bit more time, and then we were just in contact a little less frequently. Then how that balance readjusts itself would be very different. So I guess like the ultimate therapy answer is it depends. But it does depend on whether the commitment or the status of the relationship changed, because that would help define the new norm.
Another question I had are you having virtual therapy sessions? Yes, I have been doing all of my work online since the social distancing guidelines have been put in place. I'm licensed in the states of Missouri, Michigan, and Hawaii. And if you'd like to have, I do free consultations. I need to check my link, make sure it's working, because I had a complaint about that recently. But if you can DM me for more information if you're interested in a consultation, or I could share some resources for you to find someone in your area. All right. Let me see, make sure I didn't miss anyone. Thank you, Chef. All right. Thank you all for joining and allowing me to share this time with you, and I'll see you all later.